How's it going, guys? Dr. Z here with Pixelbot, and I'm here with...
I'm Greg from Supergiant Games.
Awesome. How's your PAX been so far?
It's been really, really good. We've been showing our game Transistor to a whole bunch of people who are willing to wait 2 hours just to play it, and thankfully they seem happy rather than angry at us after they're done playing. So yeah, it's been awesome.
All right, let's give us a quick rundown for those who don't know what Transistor actually is.
Yeah, so Transistor is our, we call it a science fiction themed action RPG. You get to use this kind of rather unusual, mysterious weapon as you fight your way through a futuristic city, but that's really just the setup. Much like in our first game, Bastion, I think like the story of the game is a really big deal, and you start to piece it together as you play. And you discover early on that we kind of combine this strategic planning mode in with the moment-to-moment action that we think changes the feel of the game in a pretty interesting way.
So you mentioned that you were trying to be kind of similar to Bastion, and you were adding more added elements. So are we still going to have like the similar narrative that we're used to Bastion?
We wanted, really our main thing after having worked on Bastion, we really loved how. We're really happy with how well received that game was, because we try to pack in everything we loved about games into that game. And one of the things we really liked doing about it was just like making the world of that game from scratch. It was this weird fantasy frontier world, and we couldn't be happier with kind of how much people liked it. So when we started thinking about what else we could do next, we were like, let's see if we could do it again. Let's come up with something from scratch. So we want this game to have its own distinct identity above all. Though having said that, we did decide to make another game in the action RPG genre, but we felt that Bastion really explored that genre in a new direction, and we felt that we could do that again with this game, just kind of find our own path. And part of that is, both in the style of the setting and also in this gameplay focus around kind of more thoughtful play, where you could stop the world around you and kind of think about what you want to do next and see what happens.
So a lot has happened since you made Bastion and Transistor. Has your development process changed, or has it relatively remained the same?
So the most important thing that has stayed the same is that everyone who worked on Bastion is together again on this project. We're 7 people who made Bastion in the first place. Now we're up to 12, including all 7 of the original members. So we wanted to keep everyone in their same roles, doing kind of what they do best. So it's guys like Darren Korb doing the music again. The music is a really big part of Transistor. I'm doing writing and level design like I did on Bastion, stuff like that. And Gen Z, our art director, doing I think some really amazing work on this game. But from another point of view, the thing that's changed relative to Bastion is we had a longer pre-production cycle on this game. We had more time to really kind of let some of the early ideas stew, develop the look of the game, develop the characters, and develop the story until we really kind of committed to moving forward with this. And hopefully that'll benefit the end result, as opposed to in something like in the case of Bastion, for example, Jen, our artist, she joined just when that game was going into production. So people sometimes ask like, "Oh, I'd love to see all the concept art," and she's like, "Everything I did went straight into the game." So here we had the luxury of a little bit more time. So we feel very lucky about that.
So you mentioned that I remember before you had a little documentary per se. Did you guys do anything like that for this game?
Yeah, so a lot of Bastion's development was kind of chronicled on Giant Bomb, where we would film ourselves during development and then hand the camera over, and those guys would cut together the footage, and we'd watch it live. It was really, really fun. We didn't do anything exactly like that on this game. It's not quite the same story, as it were, because on Bastion we were a little unheard of company making its first game. It's not exactly the same, obviously, because we have one game behind us. We have been filming aspects of the development. We just haven't used that footage in any capacity yet, but maybe one day soon, when all this is over, we'll look back on it and see if there's anything we could do with that. It would be fun. We really want to be transparent about our development, because we're just small little studio, and for us it's like it's really important to help get the word out that this stuff is like not inaccessible. It's not impossible for people to do the kind of things that we're doing. And we want more people to get into game development, get into games, play the kind of games that we ourselves, make the kind of games that we ourselves really want to play, that sort of thing.
So you guys announced Transistor last year at Pax East. How early in development was that game when you guys announced?
Yeah, so that's exactly right. We first showed the game at around this time last year at Pax East, and the game was still in technically like a pre-alpha state. What we showed was this same part of the game. It was essentially a version of the game opening, but it was our first real production level. So we didn't have we knew what we wanted to do with the rest of the game. We didn't have a lot more of it built out. So we've spent the time between now and then building out the whole rest of the game, putting everything together. It's the sort of thing where for us, it was a similar case on Bastion. It took a really long time to get to the first 20 minutes of the game and figure out what in the heck we were even doing. And then once we had a solid grasp of okay, this is what it is, this is how it's going to play, this is how it's going to feel, from there it starts to go a lot faster to build out the rest of the content. So yeah, we've spent all this time just kind of finishing everything out.
Awesome. Is there anything else you want to mention? Give us the release date and when exactly this comes out?
No, that's really the main thing for us. Yeah, that Transistor is due out on May 20th, just in a few short weeks on PC and PS4, and so we love the response we're getting. We're so grateful to everyone who's played it and who's supported us along the way, and we really hope that people will find that the full game lives up to all their hopes, and that their faith in us will have been well placed. So we're really excited to see how people react to it.
All right, guys, check out Transistor. See you later.